Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to check out the Lair of Maarselok Veteran Guide. I'm Alcast from alcasthq.com. Make sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you also get notified when I upload new content. I do have a written guide on the website, like always, link in the description below. In this dungeon you have quite a few trash fights, so I always recommend bringing an AoE and a single target setup. All the builds on my website have these kind of things built in, so I also recommend checking them out. The first boss is a big green bear and a big green spider that will come after each other. The tank has to make sure to face the boss away from the group so they can safely stand behind it and do their job. Try to avoid the hard-hitting abilities and you should be good to go. Selene will throw green orbs towards the group. You can interrupt this with like Crushing Shock or Venom Arrow or simply bash her, but usually she's a little bit far away from the group, so a ranged interrupt will do better here. She also does have a poison cone that she sometimes does. You need to block it or just step out of it. She will always target one player for this. So these here are the bubbles. You can interrupt her, and then this is the poison AoE cone that you just need to block or just stand outside of it and you should be good to go. The second boss, there is a lot of AoE on the ground. The boss also does a huge AoE ability that will go over the whole field, so it's fairly easy to avoid. As long as you keep moving around, the tank should face the boss away again from the group. There's also a lot of ads that spawn. You should pull them all in. You can either use like chains from Dragon Knights or Silver Leash, it all works well, or the portal from Wardens. And then just try to AoE damage everything down. You have to fight this Lurcher several times, like this boss, because you're actually damaging the last boss's health and not this one, because you're kind of draining it. That's like a theme throughout the whole dungeon. But other than that, you really just need to be aware of all the AoEs, DPS while you're moving around, and you should have this. Save the ultimates when there is trash mob spawning, so you can use your AoE ultimates for them and they will die fairly fast. I would always try to recommend getting rid of the trash mobs, because if you don't kill them, more and more will spawn and you will get overrun at a certain point. Here it gets a little bit more interesting. Again, you have to focus on these big boy mobs. Tank can just turn it around. But now look at the ground. There is this huge blue circle. He does this stomp and then this blue circle will appear. It's not marked as enemy AoE, but if you stand in there, you will get a lot of damage over time, damage and die. So make sure to not stand in there. The tank and repositioning the mob should be no problem. Now if one of these things die, you can pick up a synergy and then damage the main boss, the tree in the middle. It's basically a DPS race, or like the more DPS you have, the less of these phases you have to go through. Because after a certain amount of time, he will get shielded again and then you have to rinse and repeat. Damage, or like kill this big mob. Make sure to not die from the AoE circles when he does the stomps and all that stuff. Like this here. Just stand out of it, shouldn't be an issue. And once he is dead, pick up the synergy from it. Like you can see here, I picked it up, so I have to move to the middle. And now I activate it and he gets stunned and the shield goes away, and now you just hammer down the boss till he's dead. If you have enough DPS, you can do that in 2 phases, otherwise you need to do it in 3 or 4.
Yeah, we need to kill before.
This boss fight is the most tricky one in terms of like understanding what's going on. A lot of people don't know what they have to do here and the fight will go on and go on and go on. You notice these green spiders going up the wall. So basically Selene is casting these and try to kinda curse the dragon. And if enough of these green spiders actually go up there, the dragon will calm down and you can damage him. Now, how are you going to do this? There is a lot of stranglers that will spawn and they will try to pull down the spiders, so you need to kill them as fast as possible. So both damage dealers should focus the stranglers. There is also a horror slowly moving towards Selene. Now you need to try to
stack
not make this go to Selene, because otherwise she gets stunned and no spiders will spawn. And obviously if you don't kill the stranglers and you don't kill the Horror, the boss fight will never end. That's what I'm trying to say here. Now you see here, he came down because we had enough spiders upstairs. We can damage him, he will go away again. You have to do this 3 times. Now a few tricks. Once again, both damage dealers, we focused the Horrors, the Stranglers. After each phase, like one of these big boy mobs will come. We usually just AoE them down as fast as possible. And then we focus on the Stranglers again. The tank can chain away the Horror, so you can pull him. Once a player goes close to the Horror, he will explode. So as a healer, you could also go for that. You could spot the Horrors. If you see him spawn, then go to him and he will explode before he reaches the middle. And that's also an easy solution to the problem. There is always mobs that will spawn. I would recommend leaving the AoE abilities on them, so the tank has to just make sure to position them somewhere, drop your ultis or whatever you want. The dragon will also do a shout from time to time on a player and knock him back. It doesn't really do any damage, it's just annoying. You can block it. Very simple. So you see this Horror spawn, you get close to it, it explodes. It's fairly easy. This boss fight might take a while if you're not fast enough killing these Stranglers, because there's a lot that spawn in fast succession. Then yeah, it's kinda a long dragging fight, but if you have enough DPS, enough damage and focus these Stranglers, you should do fine. Now here you can see again, once enough spiders are up, the dragon will kinda glow green, come down and get stunned, so you actually can damage him. You have to repeat this 3 times. Once you damaged him enough, he will not die, but he will basically fly away and then appear as end boss again, because once again you're constantly like draining the boss's health or like damaging it, and then he doesn't have full health anymore, because otherwise he would have such huge amount of health as the last boss. Kinda nuts. For the last boss I will explain the hard mode, because the non-hard mode is not that difficult. If you want the explanation anyway, it's on the website, but it's basically just hard mode fight without any mechanics. There is a lot of AoE damage going on. Like always, the tank has to make sure to keep the boss busy. There's a lot of AoE damage on the ground. It's very easy to avoid because it's well telegraphed. There is monsters that spawn, kill them as fast as possible. Some of them can be pulled, some not. The boss charges. Don't stand in front of him if he does that, otherwise you will get one shot, unless you dodge roll it. But easier is just stay on the side and you will be good to go. Now the Azureblight mechanic. So this is the most difficult mechanic in this boss fight. You have to pick up this orb. There is 3 platforms, 1, 2, 3. You can label them however you want, but this was the easiest. So once you pick up Azureblight seed, 3 players will see platform 3, or like platform 2, platform 1, but in this case here, platform 3. And 1 player will see another platform, and that will be the fake platform. If you go cleanse on the fake platform, you will die. That's what you need to remember. So how do we do this? The tank can stay with the dragon, and the healer and the 2 damage dealers go pick up the seed. Now you have to call out numbers. If all 3 people, the healer and the 2 damage dealers, say, yeah, platform 3, then you know, the tank had the fake platform, maybe platform 2. So the tank also has to go to platform 3, even though he doesn't see it glowing. But that's the real cleansing tool. So you go there and you can go cleanse. Now for example, if the 2 damage dealers see platform 3 and the healer sees platform 1, you also know platform 1 is the fake platform, so you go to platform 3. So it's fairly easy to spot once you get the hang of it. And to be clear, only the dude that has the fake platform needs to go cleanse. The others will be fine. Now, another thing, before you actually do that, before you go cleanse, you need to damage Selene and stun her. And then you can cleanse. If she's not stunned while you're cleansing, bad things will happen. Now to showcase you this, here a short cutscene from one of our runs. See?
Just do it one more time.
Okay, now I need to kill her, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Free?
1.
Free. Help me go free.
No, I'm going.
No, help me.
To explain this again, the seed spawns. We go pick it up, stun Selene. Marshy and I both had number 3, Helmi had number 1. That means Helmi had the fake platform and therefore she had to go to platform 3 to cleanse herself. Other than that, there's your usual flame breath attacks, AoE and all that stuff, which is not that hard to figure out. It's mostly this mechanic that causes issues, and obviously pugging hard mode is not the best idea because you need to coordinate the debuff. In non-hard mode, you can cleanse wherever you want, so it's no problem. But in the hard mode, you actually need the comms to actually do this, otherwise you're gonna run into trouble. For further information, you can always check out my website. It is my main hub area and I try to build around it. And it always helps if you leave a like and even a comment down below in the comment section of this video. Here's a few other Scalebreaker videos that you can check out. Till then, make sure to not forget to subscribe and hit the juicy like button. Thanks for watching and see you soon. Bye.